Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Let's Make It Retro. As you can see, we've got a television on the table here and this is what we're painting today, guys. I've painted one of these in the past for someone and once they're done they look really cool. Something different for the channel today, so we're going to paint this LG TV and we're going to do this in an old-fashioned wood grain look to give it that retro feel. So I've got all the bits in front of us here. We've got the PS2 9-Tech, we've got the Creos 771 tapes, we've got Scotch-Brite, we've got some paint, we've got some primer. See you in the first time lapse. Right, I'll just talk you through that little time lapse. I took all the stand off, took all the screws out, and then I gave the whole TV a wipe down with panel wipe, get the dust and any grease off of it because we've got to mask this up. I masked the back, fully masked off all the back and papered all that off so there's no overspray going to get in on this TV. And then we moved around to the front, did the same again, went in with an inch masking and tucked it underneath the edge of the screen so that's all neatly masked off. Papered the front, gave it a wipe down with panel wipe again because a lot of TVs when they're old people use Pledge and all different sort of polishes on them, so I gave it a real good wax and grease remover down and then went in with a grey Scotch-Brite and grey scotched all this frame up. As you can see, I've got a little bit of fine line tape, that's where the remote sensor is, so I'm going to keep that nice and clear, don't want to paint over that bit. That's just a little square where the remote pickup is. Same with the stand, took the top mount off, masked it up and then with grey scotch this and gave it a good clean, so that's good to go. So both pieces are ready for the primer now. We're going to use some Standox plastic primer. I'm going to give this a couple of coats of plastic primer, let that go off and then we can go in with a cream base coat and then we'll get this base coated up. So I'll drop in another time lapse, we'll get some primer on this. I'll get it through the base coat stage and then I'll give you a little talk through when we're moving on to the airbrushing. See you in a bit. Ready to move on to the airbrushing side on this. I've got the Creos, I'm going to use the PS270 for this, and I've got a yellow oxide and that's the first shade that we're going to go down with on this wood grain. So we're going to do a light dusting over this and just drop a little bit of colour on, nice and easy. I'll just pan you down on that. Just nice dusting over on this. For the first pass. So that's just a light coat of the yellow oxide. We'll let that just cure down a bit. And now we're just going to drop the next shade on this. Same again, working round. I'm just going to do this in lines. And we'll just repeat the same process on the stand, just keeping note of what colours you use if you're doing two pieces individually, just jot it down so you know what you started off with. I'm just going to try a little bit of the texture. And now I'm just dropping the first texture in and just rubbing that paint back. With a Scotch Brite. Nice and easy. Just put a little bit of texture in. And as you can see, it just grabs the paint. But leave that paint on the Scotch Brite because then that grabs and pulls and gives you them textures. Right, the next colour I'm going in with now is a sepia. And I'm just toning this back. Then going with the Scotch Brite again. And just knock this back. So you're just using the Scotch Brite again on each layer and just taking it back, and it starts to give you that grain look. Nice and simple, guys, dead easy. What we'll do is we'll use a ruler on this piece and we're just going to do the mitre joints. What we'll do is we'll drop a couple of knots in, and to do a knot you'll just do a blob of paint grab yourself a bit of Scotch Brite, roll it up, put it in the paint, twist, and then airbrush back over the top. And that's it, guys, that's the wood grain done. 10 minutes. There you go, I'll just give you a little pan round on that. So we've got all the different shades going through. We've dropped the knots in, as you can see here. And then working up the grain here, we've got another knot in here, which look really realistic. Done the mitre joints. And then working round, we've got another knot in the side of the wood there. So dead easy to do. That was about 10 minutes and that's wood grained and done. Now we're going to drop a logo in here and then we'll move on to the stand. So there you go, there's the finished TV, the retro looking wood grain TV. I think that looks a lot better than the original black LG. Everyone's got the black telly or it goes to the silver. I think wood grain just looks a little bit more cooler, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the wood grain telly. I'll just give you a little run through of what I did. You've seen in them stages, drop the tones down and just use the Scotch Brite and just bring that textures up nice and easy, and then we drop the logo in. I've done the shadows to the top and then the highlights to the bottom, and that gives you the look as though it's routed inside, so when you look at the logo it looks sunken into the timber. We've done the stand exactly the same colours, went the same process, started off with the yellow oxide, then I went in with a orange oxide over the top, Scotch Brighted them back, then we went in with the sepia, first pass of sepia, knocked it back. We've done the knots, so it's just a blob of paint and then twist on the top, then back in with the airbrush. Dead simple, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you can join me in the next one. Big welcome to all the new subscribers and thanks again for all the comments, guys, much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you lot in the next one. Thanks for watching.